Grab them by the collar. Let me ask you something. Pause. Let it breathe. When was the last time your brain actually listened to you? Not the version of you that said, "I'll start Monday." Not the version that hit snooze 4 times this morning. Not the version that opened Instagram when you were supposed to be working. I'm talking about you. The real you. The one buried under all the noise, all the habits, all the years of letting your mind run wild like it owns the place. Lean into the camera slightly. Because here's the truth that nobody's saying out loud. Your mind is not your friend right now. It's not your enemy either. But it is completely, absolutely, 100% out of control. And the worst part? You don't even realize it. Because a mind that's never been disciplined feels completely normal. It feels like that's just how you are. That's just your personality. That's just life. But it's not. Step back. Widen the shot. What you're experiencing, the procrastination, the distraction, the self-doubt, the emotional spiraling, the inability to stay consistent, none of that is permanent. None of that is who you are. It's just what happens when nobody ever taught you how to control the most powerful machine you own. Your mind. And today, that changes. Discipline your mind daily. Act 1. The reality check. You don't have a motivation problem. You have a mind problem. Here's where most self-help content gets it completely wrong. They tell you that you need more motivation, more hype, a better morning routine, a vision board, a 5 a.m. alarm. And look, none of that is bad advice. But it's surface level. It treats the symptoms, not the disease. Because motivation is a feeling, and feelings are temporary. You cannot build a disciplined life on something as unreliable as how you feel on any given morning. I want you to think about the most disciplined person you know. Could be someone famous, a Navy SEAL, an Olympic athlete, a billionaire. Could be someone in your personal life, a parent, a coach, a friend who always shows up, always delivers, always follows through. Do you think they wake up every morning feeling motivated? Absolutely not. They wake up exactly like you do. Tired. Comfortable. With a warm bed calling their name. With their phone sitting right there. With every excuse available to them that's available to you. The difference is not motivation. The difference is mental architecture. Pause. Let that land. Mental architecture. The way your mind is built on the inside. The habits of thought, the patterns of response, the automatic decisions your brain makes before your conscious self even shows up to the party. Right now, your mental architecture is probably built around comfort. Around avoiding difficulty. Around choosing the path of least resistance, because that's what the untrained mind naturally does. It's not a character flaw, it's biology. Your brain is designed to conserve energy, seek pleasure, and avoid pain. That worked great for our ancestors on the savannah. It works terribly for a modern human trying to build something meaningful. So when you say, "I just can't stay consistent," or "I don't know why I keep procrastinating," you're not broken. You're just running default software on a machine that's capable of so much more. Discipline is not about willpower. It's not about pushing through with gritted teeth and sheer force of personality. Discipline is about reprogramming the defaults. It's about building an internal system so strong, so deeply embedded, that doing the hard thing becomes easier than not doing it. Where showing up is automatic. Where your mind works for you instead of against you. And I'm going to show you exactly how that's done. But first, I need you to accept something uncomfortable. Direct eye contact. Serious tone. The life you have right now. Every single piece of it, your finances, your relationships, your health, your career, your confidence, is a direct reflection of how much or how little control you have over your own mind. That's a heavy thing to hear. I know. But stay with me. Because if your current situation is the result of your current mental patterns, that means a different mind produces a different life. And that is the most hopeful thing I can tell you. You are not stuck. You are not doomed. You are not. Just like that. You are one decision, one commitment, one reprogrammed pattern away from a completely different existence. And it starts here. Act 2, the framework. The 5 pillars of daily mental discipline. Alright. Let's get into the actual substance. No fluff. No filler. I've broken down mental discipline into 5 core pillars. These aren't random tips I threw together. This is a framework, a system. Each pillar supports the others. You work all 5, and you become someone genuinely different within weeks. Not months. Not years. Weeks. Let's go. Break pillar 1, the morning command. The first pillar is what I call the morning command. Here's something most people don't know. The first 10 minutes of your day set the neurological tone for the next 16 hours. That's not motivational fluff. That's neuroscience. When you wake up, your brain is transitioning from theta waves, the slow, dreamy state, to alpha and beta waves, which are associated with alert, focused thinking. During that transition window, your mind is extraordinarily suggestible. It absorbs information and emotional tone with almost no filter. So what are most people doing during that window? They're scrolling. They're checking notifications. They're exposing their brain, in its most open, impressionable state, to other people's drama, bad news, political chaos, marketing designed to make them feel inadequate, and 100 other people's priorities. And then they wonder why they feel anxious, distracted, and reactive all day. You are literally programming your mind in those first 10 minutes. The question is, are you doing the programming, or is your phone? Here's the morning command practice. The moment you wake up, before you touch your phone, before you speak to anyone, before you check anything, you spend 10 minutes in complete intentional silence doing 3 things. 1. Set your mental frame. Ask yourself one question. What is the single most important thing I will accomplish today? Not a list. One thing. Your brain can lock onto one thing. A list is just a performance. 2. State your identity. Out loud, even if it feels weird. Say who you are becoming. I am someone who shows up every day. I am disciplined. I am focused. Your brain responds to language. When you speak identity over yourself consistently, you begin to close the gap between who you are and who you're claiming to be. 3. Prime your body. Even 30 seconds of deep breathing, or a cold splash of water on your face, or 10 push-ups on the floor, signal to your nervous system that you are awake, alert, and in control. Not shuffling toward the coffee maker in a haze. In control. 10 minutes. That's all. But done consistently, the morning command rewires the first neurological pattern of your day, and that pattern ripples forward into everything. Break pillar 2, the resistance embrace. This one might be the most important thing I say in this entire video, so I need you to really hear it. Resistance is the signal, not the obstacle. When you feel that internal pushback, that heaviness when you're about to do something hard, most people interpret that as a sign to stop, to wait, to reassess, to try again when they feel ready. Disciplined people interpret it completely differently. They've learned that resistance is a flare gun fired by your brain at exactly the thing you most need to do. The bigger the resistance, the more important the task. Resistance shows up precisely at the intersection of your comfort zone and your growth zone. The author Steven Pressfield calls this the resistance. It's the internal force that opposes everything you're supposed to create, accomplish, or become. And it is loudest right before the breakthrough. So here's the practice for pillar 2. Every single day, I want you to deliberately do one thing your brain resists. Not something dangerous. Not something reckless. Something productive that you've been avoiding. Have a difficult conversation you've been postponing? That's today's resistance task. Need to go to the gym but every excuse is lined up? That's it. Have a creative project you keep not being ready for? Sit down and work on it for 20 minutes. The size doesn't matter. What matters is the pattern. Every time you override resistance and do the thing anyway, you're literally strengthening the neural pathways associated with self-command. You are, one act at a time, building the brain of a disciplined person. And here's what nobody tells you about resistance: it gets smaller. Not immediately. Not every day feels easier. But over weeks and months, the things that used to feel impossible start feeling merely uncomfortable. And merely uncomfortable is something you can push through every single day of your life. The disciplined person doesn't eliminate resistance. They've just made peace with it. They've turned it into a compass. Brick Pillar 3, the thought audit. This is where mental discipline gets really deep, so stay with me. Research suggests the average human has somewhere between 40,000 and 80,000 thoughts per day. That's an extraordinary number. And here's what makes it more extraordinary: the vast majority of those thoughts are repeats. Studies have suggested that as many as 80 to 90% of your thoughts today are the same thoughts you had yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. You are living inside a mental loop. And if that loop contains thoughts like, "I'm not good enough, nothing ever works out for me, I'm too far behind, people like me don't succeed," then your brain is literally firing those patterns thousands of times a day, deepening the neural groove, making those beliefs feel more and more like facts. This is why affirmations feel fake to most people, by the way. It's not that they don't work, it's that you're trying to shout a new thought over 40,000 repetitions of an old one. The new thought doesn't stand a chance unless you first do the audit. The thought audit is simple but powerful. Once a day, ideally in the evening, you set a timer for 5 minutes, and you write down the dominant thoughts that ran through your mind. Don't judge them. Don't edit them. Just get them on paper. Then you look at what you wrote and ask 3 questions. Is this thought true? Not. Does it feel true? Is it actually, verifiably true? Is this thought useful? Does thinking this move me forward or does it keep me stuck? Whose thought is this, really? A lot of the most damaging thoughts we carry aren't even ours. They're things a parent said, a teacher, a past relationship, someone who saw us at our lowest and called it our permanent ceiling. You identify the thoughts that are untrue, useless, or borrowed, and you consciously begin replacing them. Not with toxic positivity, not with delusion, with accurate, growth-oriented alternatives. Instead of, "I always fail at this, I haven't found the right approach yet, but I will." Instead of, "I'm too far behind, I'm exactly where my effort has put me, and I can change my effort starting now." Instead of, "I don't have what it takes, I don't have it yet." Yet is a powerful word. Do this for 30 days. 30 days of honest thought audits, and you will be living in a fundamentally different mental environment. Because you will have changed the weather inside your head. Brick Pillar 4, the focus blocks. Your attention is the most valuable currency you own. Not your time. Your attention. Because time without attention is just hours passing. Attention directed with intention is how great things get built. And right now, if you're like most people, your attention is being auctioned off to the highest bidder approximately 500 times a day. Every notification, every alert, every open tab, every casual scroll, these are tiny auctions where you sell a piece of your mental bandwidth for a dopamine crumb that the platform is handing you deliberately, engineered by some of the smartest engineers on the planet whose entire job is to make sure you cannot look away. This is not a fair fight. The only way to win is to get off the battlefield on your terms. Enter the focus block. A focus block is a protected period of time, minimum 25 minutes, ideally 90, where you do one thing, with your phone face down and silent, notifications off, and your full cognitive resources aimed at a single target. No multitasking. Multitasking is a myth. Your brain doesn't actually process 2 things simultaneously. It context switches rapidly, and does both things worse than if you had done them one at a time. Every switch has a cognitive cost. Your brain takes approximately 23 minutes to return to full focus depth after an interruption. 23 minutes. One notification costs you almost half an hour of deep work. Here's how to build the focus block habit. Start small. Embarrassingly small if you need to. If your current attention span maxes out at 10 minutes, start with 10-minute blocks. Set a timer. Go. When it goes off, take a 5-minute break, real break, step away from the screen, and then go again. What you're building is focused stamina. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for attention, decision-making, and impulse control, is a muscle. It fatigues. It strengthens with training. Give it progressive overload just like you'd give your biceps, and watch your capacity for deep, sustained, powerful work expand week over week. 3 focused 90-minute blocks beats 10 distracted hours. Every single time. Not just in productivity, in the quality of what you produce, in the satisfaction of the work, and in the mental energy you have left at the end of the day. Because here's the thing, distraction is exhausting. It doesn't feel like work, but the constant context switching, the constant partial attention, the constant low-grade guilt of not quite being present, that drains you deeply. And then you reach the end of the day feeling both exhausted and unaccomplished, which is one of the most demoralizing combinations a human being can experience. Focus is not just a productivity strategy. It's a form of mental self-respect. Brick Pillar 5, the evening reset. You can't build a disciplined mind if you never give it proper rest and reflection. The evening reset is your mental shutdown protocol. Not scrolling until you fall asleep. Not replaying the day's anxieties until your nervous system is so wound up that you stare at the ceiling for 2 hours. An intentional close of the day. Here's the practice. 30 minutes before you want to be asleep, screens go off. Phone in another room if you can manage it, or at minimum, face down and silenced. You do 4 things. 1. Write down 3 things that went well today. This is not toxic positivity. This is neurological training. Your brain has a negativity bias. It is literally designed to remember and emphasize the bad over the good, because in evolutionary terms, remembering dangers kept you alive. But in modern life, this bias makes you feel like every day is worse than it was, like you're never progressing, like nothing is working. Training yourself to notice the wins, even small ones, recalibrates this bias over time. 2. Write down 1 thing you'll do differently tomorrow. Just 1. This keeps you in a growth orientation without spiraling into self-criticism. You're not beating yourself up. You're upgrading. 3. Clear your mental RAM. Write a brain dump, everything that's floating unfinished in your mind. Tasks, worries, ideas, things you don't want to forget. Get them out of your head and onto paper. Your brain can stop trying to hold them, which is one of the primary causes of the anxious, racing mind that keeps people awake at night. 4. Set tomorrow's intention. 1 sentence. Tomorrow I will underscore dot. This gives your subconscious something to work with while you sleep. And yes, your brain does do extraordinary processing while you're unconscious. You wake up with more clarity when you've planted a clear intention the night before. Sleep is not a pause in your development. Sleep is where your development happens. The memories, the lessons, the skills you practiced, they consolidate during deep sleep. Protect it like the performance asset it is. The evening reset is how you close the loop. Morning command opens the day with intention. Evening reset closes it with reflection. And in between, the other 3 pillars keep you performing at your peak. That is the framework. 5 pillars. A complete system for daily mental discipline. Act 3, the deeper truth. Why most people never change, and how to not be like most people. I want to stop here for a second and get real with you. Not motivational speech real. Actually real. I've given you a framework. 5 pillars. Solid, proven, effective. And I know what's going to happen for most people who watch this video. They're going to feel fired up. Right now. In this moment. They're going to nod along. They might even screenshot the pillar names. And then, they're going to close this video, and within 48 hours, they're going to be exactly where they were before they clicked play. Not because the information isn't good, but because information was never the problem. If information changed people, we'd all be fit, wealthy, and mentally healthy, because all of that information is free and available to anyone with a phone. The real reason people don't change is far more personal. And it comes down to this. Change requires you to stop being who you've been. And that is terrifying. Even when who you've been is making you miserable. Even when you genuinely want something different. Because your current identity, even a painful one, is familiar. It's known. And your brain prefers the familiar pain of your current life to the unknown of becoming someone new. This is why people sabotage their own progress. Why they hit a good streak and then blow it up. Why they make 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. It's not weakness. It's identity conflict. A part of you is still clinging to the old version, the one that doesn't work out, doesn't follow through, doesn't believe things can really change, because that old version at least knows what's coming. So here's what I want you to do, and this is the most important thing in this entire video. Decide who you are. Not who you want to be someday. Not who you're working toward. Who you are. Right now. In this moment. Make a declaration. I am a person who disciplines their mind daily. Say it like it's already true. Not, I'm trying to be. I am. This is not delusion. This is how identity change works. Research from psychologist James Clear and others in behavioral science consistently shows that the most durable change comes not from changing behaviors first, but from changing identity first, and letting the behaviors follow. When you see yourself as a disciplined person, not someone who is trying to become disciplined, but someone who is disciplined, your daily decisions begin to run through that filter. Would a disciplined person do this? And more often than not, you act accordingly. This is the inner game. And I'm not going to pretend it's easy. There will be days where the framework falls apart. Where you miss the morning command. Where you spiral in your thoughts. Where you can't focus for 5 minutes straight. Where you end the night doom scrolling until 1 a.m. And on those days, the most important thing you can do is not make it a story. Most people, when they slip, turn it into evidence. See? I can't do this. I never follow through. This is just who I am. One bad day becomes the verdict on their character. Disciplined people see a bad day as data, not identity. They say, that happened. Tomorrow I show up again. No drama. No spiral. No extended mourning period for the streak they lost. They show up tomorrow. That's it. That's the entire secret. The person who changes their life is not the person who never stumbles. It's the person who stumbles and shows up anyway. Over and over and over, until showing up is simply what they do, because it's who they are. Act 4. The science behind the system. This isn't just motivation. This is how your brain actually works. I want to give you the science behind all of this, because understanding why it works makes you far more likely to stick with it. Your brain has a region called the prefrontal cortex, right behind your forehead. This is the seat of rational thought, long-term planning, impulse control, and executive decision-making. It's the most recently evolved part of the human brain, and it's what separates us from other animals in terms of complex reasoning. When you practice discipline, when you override an impulse, make a difficult decision, or follow through on a commitment you don't feel like keeping, you are literally strengthening the neural connections in this region. It is physical, real, measurable. Brain scans can show the difference between a disciplined brain and an undisciplined one. Now let's talk about the other player in this game, the amygdala. This is the ancient part of your brain, sometimes called the lizard brain. It's responsible for fear responses, emotional reactions, and the fight or flight mechanism. When you're overwhelmed, anxious, reactive, distracted, or spiraling, the amygdala is running the show. Here's the key relationship you need to understand. The prefrontal cortex and the amygdala are in a constant power struggle. When one is dominant, the other is suppressed. Chronic stress, poor sleep, scrolling addiction, poor nutrition, sedentary lifestyle, all of these empower the amygdala and weaken the prefrontal cortex. You become more reactive, more impulsive, less capable of delayed gratification, and less able to control your thoughts and behaviors. The 5 pillars I gave you? Each one is a targeted intervention in this neurological power struggle. The morning command trains your prefrontal cortex to take charge first thing in the day. The resistance embrace builds the neural pathways of override, prefrontal over amygdala. The thought audit reduces the amygdala's ammunition by defusing the thoughts that trigger it. The focus blocks exercise and strengthens prefrontal function directly. The evening reset calms the amygdala and allows the consolidation of everything the prefrontal cortex learned that day. This is not self-help mythology. This is applied neuroscience. And there's one more concept I want to give you, because it changes everything. Neuroplasticity. For most of human history, science believed the brain was fixed. You were born with a certain brain, and that was your lot in life. We now know this is completely false. The brain remains plastic, changeable, adaptable, rewirable, throughout your entire life. New neural pathways can form at any age. Old ones can be weakened through disuse. Habits of thought that have run for decades can be reprogrammed. Not easily, not quickly, but absolutely. Neuroplasticity is the scientific basis for everything we're talking about. It means the brain of a disciplined person is not a genetic gift, it's a built thing. Constructed through repetition, intention, and time. You can build that brain. Starting today. Starting with the choices you make in the next 24 hours. The science is not just on your side. The science is the foundation. Act 5. The enemies of mental discipline. What's actually destroying your mind, that you're ignoring? We need to talk about what's working against you. Because even if you implement every single pillar I've given you, there are forces in your daily environment that are actively, constantly, systematically dismantling your mental discipline. And unless you address them directly, you're fighting with one hand tied behind your back. Enemy number 1, chronic dopamine flooding. Your brain runs on dopamine, the neurotransmitter of reward and motivation. But dopamine is a calibration system. It signals what's worth pursuing by creating a feeling of anticipation and pleasure. The problem is that modern technology has hacked this system at a level our brains were never designed to handle. Every like, every notification, every scroll, every autoplay video gives your brain a small hit of dopamine. This sounds great until you understand what happens over time. Your brain recalibrates its baseline. Things that used to feel rewarding, a good conversation, finishing a project, a workout, a quiet moment, start feeling flat and uninteresting, because your dopamine baseline has been artificially inflated by digital hyperstimulation. This is why sitting with a task that doesn't produce instant feedback feels unbearable. Your brain has been trained for the rapid, guaranteed dopamine of the scroll, and real-world activities can't compete. The fix is not to swear off technology forever. The fix is deliberate dopamine management. Be intentional about what gets access to your reward system. Create time in your day that is low stimulation, walks without headphones, meals without screens, evenings without the algorithm. Let your baseline recalibrate. Let yourself become capable of finding reward in the quiet, the difficult, the meaningful. Enemy number 2, decision fatigue. Research consistently shows that the quality of your decisions deteriorates throughout the day. Every choice you make, from what to eat to what to reply to how to handle a situation, depletes a finite mental resource. By the time you've made 300 micro decisions before noon, the big decisions, the ones about your goals, your habits, your responses to difficulty, get made by an exhausted brain that just wants the path of least resistance. Disciplined people protect their decision-making energy ruthlessly. They automate the unimportant. Same breakfast. Planned schedule. Pre-committed responses to predictable situations. They save their sharpest mental resources for what actually matters. Look at your day and ask, what decisions am I making on autopilot that I could actually pre-decide? Every one you automate is more energy for the ones that shape your future. Enemy number 3, the wrong environment. Jim Rohn said you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This is true, but it goes even deeper than people. You are the product of your entire environment. The conversations you're exposed to, the content you consume, the physical spaces you inhabit, the cultural norms of your social circles. If everyone around you normalizes quitting, making excuses, speaking negatively, staying comfortable, that is what your brain will model. Not because you're weak, but because the human brain is profoundly social and mimics the patterns of those around it. You don't have to blow up your relationships, but you do need to be honest about whether your environment is feeding your discipline or draining it. And then you need to make strategic changes. The people you add to your life, the content you allow in, the conversations you seek out, the spaces you choose to work and rest in. Discipline doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens in an environment that either supports it or fights it. Build the right environment, and discipline becomes far easier than you ever imagined it could be. Act 6, the 30-Day Challenge. Here's exactly what to do starting tonight. Alright. You've got the framework. You've got the science. You've got the enemies identified. Now here's the plan. I want you to take the next 30 days, just 30 days, and run this experiment on yourself. Not forever. Not as a life sentence. 30 days. And I promise you, at the end of 30 days, you will not want to stop. Here is your 30-day mental discipline protocol. Every morning, 10-minute morning command. 1 priority. 1 identity statement. 1 physical activation. Every day, 1 resistance task. Do the thing you've been avoiding. No negotiating with yourself. No. I'll do it later. Pick 1. Do it. Every day, at least 1 focus block. Start with 25 minutes if you need to. Phone away. 1 task. Full presence. Every evening, 5-minute thought audit. What patterns ran through your mind today? Which ones serve you? Every evening, the evening reset. 3 wins. 1 improvement. Brain dump. Tomorrow's intention. That's the full protocol. It probably adds up to about 45 minutes of intentional practice spread throughout your day. That is less time than most people spend scrolling before they even get out of bed. Now I want to address the objection that's in your head right now. I don't have time for all this. You do. I know that sounds blunt, but let me prove it. Track your screen time for the last week. Look at the actual number. For the average person, it's somewhere between 4 and 7 hours of daily phone use. 45 minutes is a rounding error in that number. The issue is never time. The issue is priority. And priority is a decision. One you make every single day, whether consciously or by default. So decide. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not when things calm down. Right now. Are you going to continue giving your most valuable resource, your mind, to whoever shows up with the most attractive distraction? Or are you going to take it back? Act 7, the identity shift. The person you're becoming is already inside you. I want to leave you with something that matters more than any technique or framework I've shared today. The disciplined person you want to become. They're not some distant future version of you that you have to wait years to meet. They're already inside you. They've always been there. Think about it. You already know what you should be doing. You already know that the scroll isn't serving you. You already know that the snooze button is a vote against yourself. You already know that the conversation you've been avoiding needs to happen. Discipline isn't learning something you don't know. It's doing what you already know. And every single time you do it, every time you choose the hard thing over the easy thing, the meaningful thing over the comfortable thing, the action over the excuse, you are not building a new person. You are uncovering the one who was always there. There's a concept in philosophy called becoming. The idea that we are not static beings who either are or aren't a certain way. We are always in the process of becoming. Becoming stronger or weaker. Becoming more disciplined or less. Becoming more alive or slowly sleepwalking through the years. Every decision you make is a vote in that election. Today's vote, whatever it is not decisive. It's just one vote. But the cumulative weight of thousands of votes, cast consistently in the direction of who you want to become, will reshape everything. Your circumstances will change. But more profoundly, you will change. The way you see yourself. The way you move through the world. The way you respond to difficulty. And here's what nobody talks about enough. The feeling of a disciplined life. Not just the results. The feeling. When you go to bed at night knowing you showed up. knowing you did the hard thing, knowing you kept a promise to yourself. There is a quality of peace in that experience that no amount of comfort, distraction, or entertainment can touch. It's quiet. It's deep. It's the satisfaction of a person who is living on purpose. That feeling is available to you every single day. It doesn't require wealth or status or perfect circumstances. It requires only one thing: that you discipline your mind daily. Closing, the call to action. If you made it to the end of this video, you're already not like most people. Most people click away. Most people skim. Most people are looking for the highlight without doing the work. But you're here. Which tells me something about you. It tells me you're ready. So here's what I'm asking you to do right now, before you do anything else. Leave a comment below with one word that describes who you are committing to become. One word. Disciplined. Focused. Consistent. Relentless. Whatever word lives in the version of you that you're choosing today, put it in the comments. Do it now, while the fire is still lit. Because that act, that small, public declaration, is the first vote. The first morning command. The first resistance task. Declaring yourself before you feel fully ready is the discipline. Subscribe if you want more content that actually goes deep on building the mind, building the life, and becoming someone worth becoming. I don't do surface level here. We go all the way. And share this video. Send it to someone who needs it. Because the people around you becoming more disciplined, that benefits you directly. A rising tide lifts all ships. One last thing. You already know what to do. Now go do it. I'll see you in the next one. End screen with subscribe button and related videos.